Zim, one thing I want to touch on you about is there was another big coaching change that we didn't talk about. The Bengals fired offensive line coach and run game coordinator Frank Pollack. Zach Taylor, do me a favor.
Frank the Tank. Hey, Frank.
I got one thing I need to say, though, really quickly.
Okay, hang
please. Zach. Yeah, is the camera on me?
Yeah.
Please do not hire your brother as run game coordinator.
Oh, Lord.
Please do not hire Press Taylor as running game coordinator. Doug Peterson had a weird tie to him. Wouldn't move off with the guy. Do not hire your brother as run game coordinator and then proceed to hire an offensive line coach. Do not hire Press Taylor as the Bengals' next run game coordinator. That's all I wanted to say. Zim, what were you about to say? Because I can see that happening.
That's big. That is a big factor. I thought the Frank Pollack one is not getting talked about enough. Yeah. I'm so glad you brought that up. Mm-hmm. To me, defensive coordinator is very important. But the Frank Pollack one, the run game coordination, the non-development of any offensive lineman, any of them. Remember, Amarius Mims was giving credit to Trent Brown and Orlando Brown in the preseason, in training camp. He wasn't giving it to Pollack in those instances. We're 5-6 years later on Zach Taylor, and we don't have a competent run game. I love Chase Brown to death. I'm so excited that everybody's showing like all these graphs about Chase Brown and all these different things. But then when you go into the EPA per play, the run game's success is still not there. You got Chase Brown out there breaking tackles, doing all these different things, getting yards over expected. And we're like 6 years later, and then we're playing teams that don't have good run defenses, and we're still throwing the ball 50 times. Mm-hmm. The number one thing, I don't know how y'all felt about this, but when I saw 500 pounds of two dudes falling on Joe Burrow's neck on that game, I was scared to death. And I watched all these teams like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and stuff. I watched them drop back 18, 24 times a game. And then they come out here and be like, yeah, we got the best quarterback and we're the best. And cool. All right. The reason why they feel so confident is that because they have to do so much less in terms of pure dropbacks. Whoever is the next offensive line coach, give this man a competent run game or competent run game coordination, and I promise you the offensive line will look like superstars. They're going to make Orlando Brown and Mims look like the greatest tackles in the history of football if they just run for 100-something yards a game. One of my favorite games. I don't think I told y'all on this one. Everybody go look this up. And I think I said this on the last show. The game last year where they played the Colts is the only game in the Zach Taylor era that didn't relinquish a sack to a quarterback. And in that game, Joe Mixon and Chase Brown had both over 100 all-purpose yards. Jake Browning dropped back 24 times in that game and still threw for 280 yards. That's what Joe Burrow needs. He needs that. Or, and I was talking to a good friend of mine, shout out to, the Chase family and everybody. Like, I was talking to him this morning, and he was like, and we were talking about Mahomes and all these different, I said, have you seen the build of those dudes? I remember I saw Jacoby Brissett. That dude could get hit 20 times a game. The dude's built like a linebacker. Joe Burrow, I love him to death. He is not built like that. Smaller ankles. He has his frame. He could try to build up all he wants. He'll never be a stout bulldog like back. Like, Pat Mahomes just got baby fat on him where people just fall off of him. Dropping back Joe Burrow 50 times a game is a bigger conversation than let's just figure out how we can fix the offensive line. You're going to be doing that every single year if you drop back 50 times. I don't care if you have 5 Penei Sewells. If you drop back 50 times, you're getting hit. I don't care who it is. They have to learn how to have a competent run game, and that in itself will protect Joe Burrow and get him ready for the playoffs. And you watch all of these dudes like Lamar and Josh Allen only throw 20 times a game, and they go through the season barely unscathed. If you watch a Lamar game, he probably gets touched 3-4 times a game. And 2 of them are the ones that he inflicts himself. He says, yeah, I want to make a statement, truck a dude one time or whatever like that. Somebody rushing him, whatever, he gets away from it, throws the ball away. It's quick. They don't even give you that many opportunities to hit him. They don't, bro. And that's the difference to me. That's the biggest problem with me saying Zach Taylor with a top 3 offense. Cool, you got a top 3 offense. How did you get it?
Mhm.
You dropped back and you attempted 90 more passes than Lamar and all these dudes like that. Yeah, Joe Burrow should be leading the league in yards. He's the best processor and best quarterback.
So here's one thing I want to say, man. To that point, and I thought you brought up some great points. What if I said, hey, Bengals, no matter who the offensive line coach is, you still need to go out there and address the interior of the offensive line. You need to change your ways when it comes to the interior of the offensive line. No offensive line coach is coming in here and making Cordell Volson, Alex Kappa look like world beaters. And those guys were 100% getting violated play after play after play. And you continuously put those guys out there. Make a concerted effort, like you made a concerted effort to get better at tackle when you realized Jonah Williams was not the answer. Make a concerted effort to go out there and upgrade the guard position. And then the 40-plus touchdown passes Joe Burrow threw this year, what could it be next year when he does have a competent interior offensive line? Because I'm confident Joe Burrow could evade blitzers on the edge. He's very good at maneuvering the pocket. But when you have a guy running right at him at the start of a play, I mean, absolutely bulldozing your guards, you're literally blowing up the play before it even has a chance to get going. You're blowing up any chance of having a significant run game before it gets a chance of even going. So I think that there's needs to be a change on the philosophy side of things for the Bengals this offseason when it comes to addressing the interior of the offensive line. And I think it'll shock them to see the results that they get. Daniel.
It's very simple, bro. Let me say this real quick. I'm sorry, man. No, it's very simple, bro. It's very simple. It's just like life. In anything that you are ever done, or like if we go and buy lottery tickets right now, you give me 50 tickets, I bet you I hit something, right? You know what I mean? Like I'm going to not hit. I'm going to hit a lottery, and I'm going to win some bucks.
That's crazy.
I'm going to win some dollars. Like you give me more opportunities. Imagine thinking that I hear everybody saying, yes, I want to upgrade the interior line. I want to get Will Freeze, and I want to go get Tate Ratledge in the second.
Tevin Jenkins.
Kevin Jenkins, give me in two. We're gonna still have the same conversations, my brothers and sisters. If they continue to drop this dude back, and somebody said,
"Oh, 100%,
you're acting 100%. Like Joe Burrow isn't tough." Joe Burrow is the toughest motherfucker on earth. I'm the king of telling people that, right? But I'm also smart enough, and I'm calculated when I say that to say that no human being could have 300-pound men falling at his knees and his leg and rolling over on his helmet. When they picked Joe Burrow up the other night, it wasn't just grass right here on this side of the face mask. His whole face mask had turf grass in it. They had to pick the dude out of the ground. Like they buried this dude alive, no penalty, nothing like that. The only way, and I've said this since he tore his ACL, everybody has to hear me clearly. The only way to preserve Joe Burrow to create the monster that we know that he can be is give him a competent run game where now the defense cannot just shoot upfield. And also, the amount of opportunities that you have to hit this man are limited. That is the only way. That's what all the quarterbacks do. None of them are dropping back 50 times, bro. None of them. Go look.